Welcome to Wealth Motivation. This is Mark Hill. Let's talk about how to turn $40,000 into $10 million within 5 years. This is no joke. This is serious. This is not clickbait. This is the real deal. Now, the average car right now is about 40 something thousand dollars, as you can see from the headlines. Okay, we're in the Christmas season, holiday season. Look at the beautiful cars with the bows on them. Okay, that's all nice. That's fine and dandy. But if you go out and buy one of these cars with 40, 50 grand, 60 grand, whatever, you could be missing out on making $10 million. So let me show you. Let me show you real quick how this works out. Okay, we look at Bitcoin. This is a list right here of all the annual returns of every major asset class over the last 10 years. We look at Bitcoin, the last 10 years, 2011. The last 10 years from 2011 to 2021, looking at an average return of 230% per year. The next closest return over the last 10 years is 20% from big tech stocks, the Nasdaq. S&P 500, 14%. So big tech is the next major asset class that's behind Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the fastest horse in the race of any investment class by a factor of 10. And we go look at gold. What did gold do over the last 10 years? Only a measly 1%. So basically, you might as well just kept your money in the under a mattress for 10 years instead of buying gold. Okay? So let's just do the numbers. Let's do up the calculation. Instead of going to buy that brand new car for 45 grand, average car is 45 grand. You do a loan over 5 years. No, let's just say you keep the car for 5 years. Most people keep a car or get a loan for 5 years. 45,000 lump sum put into Bitcoin. And if it does 200% over the next 5 years each year, you're looking at $10 million in 5 years. $10 million in 5 years from a starting amount of 45,000 without even putting an extra dime. Maybe I just put $1 a month as because they want you to put a number in there. But let's say you don't have 45,000 lump sum. Let's say you go out and buy a new car. Most of the time they want a $3,000 down payment. An average car note is probably around 700 a month. Calculate that. You're still looking at over $2 million a year. If you just dollar cost average $700 a month instead of paying a $700 car note, go get an older or keep that used car that's paid for in cash instead of getting that new car. Dollar cost average $700 a month car note into Bitcoin over the next 5 years, and you're looking at over $2 million. I mean, this is This is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer investment on probably the easiest way to become a millionaire over the next 5 years. Now let's say Bitcoin doesn't do 200% a year. Let's say it slows down and only does 100% a year on of annual returns. You're still looking at almost $500,000 in 5 years, from 40,000 to almost half a million. You go buy that car in 5 years, what is it going to be worth? Nothing, almost nothing. Okay, so that's the difference between the thinking of buying an asset and buying a liability. Cars go down in value. Good assets like Bitcoin, big tech stocks, they go up in value. Now let's go back to that lump sum. Say you got a lump sum of 45,000, not contributing any more money. Like I said, Bitcoin only does 100% a year. That's still You're still a millionaire within 5 years. 5 years goes like this. It goes like snap of a finger. I promise you. Any of you who have kids, how fast did their freshman year to their senior year go? It seemed like it just flew by overnight. That was 4 years. Or you know anybody, or you went to college. How fast did college go? Once you were done and you look back like, wow, that went by fast. 4 or 5 years is like nothing in the bigger picture of time. So, hey, I want you to research Bitcoin, study Bitcoin, understand Bitcoin. And it's not too late right now. Bitcoin is at over around 50,000 per coin. It's not too late. Yeah, it would have been nice to get in 10 years ago, but this is still a baby. It's still the baby. It's still a baby. It's not a mature asset class yet. It's like if it's a football game, it's like only the beginning of the second quarter. It's got a lot of room to run. I believe it's going to overtake. It's going to flip gold, which would which will put it at around 400,000 or 500,000 per coin eventually. All it takes is patience. I mean, what else can you do with your money? What else are you going to do with your money? Because you can't just sit it in cash. Because inflation is going to eat it away. Like that article I just showed you, average car price has been going up 8 months in a row. Every year, the price of everything goes up with inflation. So you have to beat inflation. And right now, Bitcoin is the strongest investment in terms of beating inflation. But do your research. Don't just take my word for it. I just showed you the number based on past returns. And even if that doesn't guarantee future results, but even if we, like I showed you right here, even if it just does 100%, half of the past returns, you're looking at $1 million. Let's say Bitcoin really slows down, which I don't think, but we just being conservative. Let's say it only goes up 50% a year. Still looking at 300 grand a year. How many people have 300 grand? And that's just being low. That's low balling it. How many people you know with 300 grand cash? A liquid. Okay, but I believe it'll at least do minimum 100% return on average annual every year. You've got banks getting, big institutions getting into it, Goldman Sachs, Visa, all type of corporations. You've got countries, El Salvador is buying Bitcoin. and the adoption rate is just going to continue to ramp up. More countries, more governments are going to start buying it. Walmart just bought a whole lot of Bitcoin kiosk machines where you can purchase at Walmart. Walmart, they wouldn't be investing in Bitcoin if they didn't know something. They've done their due diligence. Trust me. Major company like Walmart's getting involved with Bitcoin. Amazon's hiring a Bitcoin chief of for crypto operations. They're hiring a crypto software chief. It's on their website for careers. So Amazon's got a Bitcoin strategy. Everybody has to is going to have to decide whether they are going to join the future of money or they'll probably just be left behind. And I believe it's still early in the game, and but the more you do your research, the more you become convicted, the more conviction you'll have of how good of investment this can be. Mark Hill, Wealth Motivation. Thanks for watching.